See, I'm a huge believer in
Your network
networking.
is your network.
Network is the network. I still am very heavily invested in this ICAI professional network ecosystem in North America. So he tells me about this success story, about how they've been helping these startups in different parts of the world, IIT funded startups. Immediately, I was actually supposed to travel the following week to India for a global conference. I felt that the sound foundation, the solid foundation that the CA qualification has given me, I'm always grateful for that, for the institution that offered it to me. I'm always in awe of how this entire organization operates. One area where I feel there's something greater that can be done is the diversity, confidence in anybody starting. So I would recommend that book for anyone. I read it multiple times. I would read it again too. So it every time it gives you another level of, boosts your confidence.
Hello everyone and welcome to Coffee with CA with me, your host Geena Bharwani. Today on this episode, we have a chartered accountant turned Silicon Valley entrepreneur, CA Vish Arunachalam. So let's deep dive into his journey and understand how he went from assurance to consulting and finally being a tech entrepreneur in Silicon Valley. Let's get started. Hello, sir, and welcome to the show. We are really happy to have you over here. So first things first, welcome to Chennai.
Thank you, Geena. It's a pleasure. Thanks to Zoho, Team Zoho, my friends in Zoho North America. Thanks to them for making this possible. I'm very excited to have you interview me today as part of the series, Coffee with CS.
So you're from Chennai, right?
True.
And you moved to the US. How is that 25-year journey been like? What got you into CA?
Yeah, it's not 25 yet, it's 20 plus. So it's been fabulous going from this part of the country, this part of the world to North America. I've enjoyed it thoroughly. The foundation that the CA qualification provides for someone like me, the way we are prepared to take on these cross-cultural, diverse industries and the top-tier clients, and the way it prepares us for those challenges later in the life is fabulous. So thanks to CA, I owe it to the foundation that the ICAI institution and my teachers and my principals that have prepared me for this, so I'm grateful to them. So it's been a fabulous journey going from Chennai to California.
That's nice. So when you started off your chartered accountancy course, did you ever think that, one day, probably in the future, you'll be sitting down in California and running a startup of your own over there as a chartered accountant? Did you ever envision that?
Never. I would be lying if I say that. Never. I come from a business family. My ancestors were all, many generations, they were bankers, and then my immediate early generation, they transitioned from banking to as entrepreneurs. They were doing some distribution, manufacturing, all the stuff. So they were the immediate past generation, got into business. And then I am the generation that got into profession. So my cousins, my uncles, some of them are in the law profession, some are in medicine. So it's been a journey within the family to move to newer, it's a newer space altogether.
So as soon as you completed your final exams and you cleared, so what was your first instinct to whether go into practice or start somewhere? So can you tell me about that?
Great. Actually, I was very clear once I passed my CA, I wanted to start my own practice. But before that, I wanted to work for a short period of time, a year. I actually mentioned this to the interviewer at PricewaterhouseCoopers. Actually, after qualifying as a CA, I started my career with PwC Chennai. Even before my results came out, I applied at Pricewaterhouse, Chennai. Then it was Pricewaterhouse, Anasalai.
Yeah.
So I applied, and they called me for the interview and said, why now? Why can't you wait for your results? I said, I'm super confident. I will pass the exam. Give me an opportunity.
Okay.
And I said, if I don't pass the exam, you can fire me.
Okay.
So the partner laughed at me and said, why do you want to join at this time? So I said, I am just here for a year's experience. I want to gather enough exposure in this space. They were serving top tier clients.
Correct.
So as a new professional, new chartered accountant, I may not have got that opportunity to serve them directly. So I said, give me the 1 year experience. I'll go, I'll start my own practice. He laughed. He said, come after the results and then we'll take you. They did take me after the results. I wanted to work for a year, but as the then partner was predicting, once in he said, you won't be able to go out, you will continue. So which happened, it became true. So they sent me to the USA. I spent some time in the USA and went into a completely different orbit, and I couldn't go back to practice.
So if I'm not mistaken, you started in assurance and then you went to consulting, right?
True.
So what made you make that switch?
Great. The way it happened was I started my career with the assurance and business advisory services in Pricewaterhouse, Chennai.
Okay.
I spent a couple of years in Chennai. They sent me on deputation to the USA.
Yeah.
I worked in PwC New York for a short period of time. But that was enough to convince me that that part of the world was offering something much greater than what was offered at that point in time.
Correct.
In this part of the world. So I was very clear in my mind that I'll go back to India, work with the firm, get them to facilitate this if possible, if not pursue something elsewhere to go back to the USA. So I had to work through the system, go through the grind. It took a lot more time than it should have taken to go through, maneuver and then get there. But I think the choices were right. I went with big names, and then they took me there, and then I was able to pursue this huge shift. Opportunity-wise, doing the same thing over and over doesn't excite a lot of people. I'm one of those.
Correct.
Having spent few years in assurance, I actually wanted that change, and this was on a platter, golden platter. So they offered me opportunity in consulting, SAP, which is one of the best, even now considered to be one of the best. Then it was super hot at that point in time. ERP was super hot then. So I took a transition from audit to consulting, got trained, did some implementations within PwC in India, and then by the time I was ready, minted out of the system to go to the USA, things crashed back in the USA. Okay. It was a huge slump. So I parked myself for a short period of time in Indonesia, Jakarta, SAP Jakarta. I worked for PT SAP Indonesia. I worked there for a year, and then things picked up, and then I took my flight to California. I worked there with the firm that took me there for a couple of years, and then I joined KPMG Consulting, and then since then it's been all in SAP, many years of SAP consulting. Before I embarked on my own entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah. So you were into consulting, and then immediately did you take some time to plan on your entrepreneurial journey in the side, or what sparked that?
Great. So as I said, opportunity
comes knocking on your door.
Absolutely. So in Silicon Valley, that too, there's a vibrant network out there. A lot of IITians, Stanford alumni, you name it, all those people, Berkeley alumni, the Indian diaspora, great ecosystem.
Correct.
I would encourage anybody, not that people don't know, but I've gone through the system. I can vouch for it. It's a great place. People are willing to help. People are willing to collaborate. There's no insecurity. People are open about exchanging ideas. They say fail fast. If you want to pursue something, failing fast is encouraged out there. I wouldn't say that's true in most other parts of the world. So that is a great lab. The place where we live in Silicon Valley, it's a great place to explore, partner, and then this is something that I would say we don't plan for. I was going about enjoying my journey in the consulting space, serving clients. At some point in time, I quit my job. I did it in a few phases, I would say. First phase was moving away from audit to consulting and serving in consulting space for a few years. and then quitting the job, doing your own consulting for a few years.
Yeah.
See, all this is possible
over there
because we have other like-minded people who are willing to join hands. It's not a pursuit on your own where you take the entire burden of getting off the grid and doing these things. So I was able to partner with my current co-founder. He's an engineer by profession. So we did some consulting on our own. That was the first entrepreneurial journey. That's where it started. So we did serve a few clients. We got some clients through our network again. See, I'm a huge believer in
your network is your net worth.
Network is the net worth, to quote Piyush. He said this in one of the events that we hosted a couple of years ago. So network is net worth. So I got my first client for our consulting firm through one of our friends. 1 year and around 2013, I think it's 2012 year end. Yeah, this guy calls me and says, can you do this for us? You've been doing it for a large consulting company. Why don't you do it for us? So immediately, since the other guy was very well known to us, trustworthy partner, we took it. We took the bait, and then we started the firm, and then we went into the consulting work. So that was the first entrepreneurial effort from our side. Very successful. We did a very good implementation, and a few more implementation. And at some point in time, we started feeling there's an opportunity that presented itself. So you don't regret when you're seeing an opportunity and there's a paying customer on the other side. That's a classic situation, right? You don't want to go build your own thing and then look for a customer.
Exactly.
Ideal world, if some customer is ready to pay.
And you're ready to provide them service.
You have the ability to create something and present it to them very quickly.
Yeah.
That's a brilliant recipe for success. I strongly believe. Anything before you do, make sure there is somebody ready to pay for it.
Exactly.
Okay, if you create something, creation is, we're all creative people, or we have the ability to go create. End of the day, it takes time and effort and money to create something.
Correct.
End of it, it has to be a positive outcome for you and the customer. Customer has to see value in what you create, what you offer. So we found an opportunity where we were in a great position to create a product. All the years of services that we're providing put us in a space where we were in a position to create a product.
Correct.
And with all these confusion around compliance, a lot of regulatory requirements, all companies creating this was creating a situation where everybody was paying penalties.
Okay.
So the opportunity we saw was, why don't we create a product that will make life better for all these businesses that exist? Not for a specific industry. Any business established, any 50 states in the USA, most of them were getting into wherever they were growing, they were embarking upon opportunities, pursuing opportunities in different domains, different states. They were all being dinged with penalties. So we found an opportunity where we could create a solution that would optimize compliance, regulatory compliance. So optimizing compliance is the entire solution that we embarked upon. And then our villain was penalty. Nobody likes penalty. The businesses don't like to pay penalty. It was so arbitrary. Laws were changing. Even now, laws keep changing arbitrarily. So that was the thing that we went after. So we created ProScaler.ai. It's a platform. It's an AI-powered platform. It's a tech solution. All things statutory compliance, regulatory compliance for businesses. So that's the idea that convinced us to go create a product. They were paying customers willing to come on board. And the best part was, I still am very heavily invested in this ICAI professional network ecosystem in North America. Even globally, we have a lot
because you believe the fact that network.
Absolutely. And who better than your own peers, your own fraternity, so CA. So I was already invested in that. So I found this product, I would be able to engage greater with my peers, my friends around the globe. Already many have joined hands. So I hope to engage greater. One is for a not-for-profit cause, which is the ICAI footprint expansion in North America, the largest and fastest ever in the 75-year history of ICAI. We've witnessed in the USA, and I've been part of that. I'm very proud about that. We've led this incubation of about 16 offices in the last 3.5 years in North America.
16 and 3.5.
3.5 years, yeah. We were just one active office in San Francisco in 2017, and then 2020 to 2024. We've launched about 16 offices. That is the fastest and largest ever footprint expansion, overseas footprint expansion by ICAI in its 75-year history.
Correct.
And we're very proud about incubating all these offices. And the best is 6 to 8 more are coming by end August 2024. Our target is 25 overseas offices in North America by 2024 year end.
Okay.
We are at 18, we want to be at 25, that's one.
Yeah.
We want to be by 50 by 2025, that's a tagline.
Okay.
50 offices in USA alone, not even North America, USA alone by end of 2025 is our target.
So, yeah.
So then we were able to launch, out of the 18 offices I spoke about earlier, 11 are chapters, full-fledged registered chapters across the USA, and 7 are rep offices. Few of those would very soon upgrade to chapters. So it's a two-step process. Start off with
You
5
start off
virtual
with the rep
office,
and then you
upgrade
go
to a chapter when you're ready. So that allowed us to reach a lot of our CA friends around the country in the USA. There are a few more volunteers. It would be unfair to say it's me. I'm just one of a few other like-minded ICI leaders in North America who are pursuing this.
So I also understand that, you have this CA for Startups, so castartups.org. Can you tell me what does that do and how does that help people?
Absolutely. Very interesting that you're asking about CA Startups. Thanks for asking me about it. castartups.org was launched a couple of years ago.
Okay.
We are into the second year now. We were very inspired by what IITstartups.org has done.
Okay.
They were established in 2018. Group of my friends, they have founded this, and they've served the IIT fraternity. IIT startups, basically, it's all about enhancing the Silicon Valley Connect for any IITian started, kind of founded or funded startup is how they've structured the entire organization, and they've delivered. They're doing a fabulous job. They've built a nice ecosystem where they're supporting their IITians in different parts of the world. So very casual a meetup, I bumped into my friend Manoj Goyal, IITian, very dear friend of mine, based in Silicon Valley. So we were at an event together. He was sitting next to me. He's wearing a t-shirt, IITstartups.org. So I casually asked him, hey, Manoj, what is this about? So he tells me about this success story, about how they've been helping these startups in different parts of the world, IITian founded startups, funded startups. Immediately, I was actually supposed to travel the following week to India for a global conference, the IFAC WCOA conference in Mumbai. So 10 days prior, I bump into him. I have this conversation. Then I said, I'm going all the way to Mumbai. We need to do something similar for CS. We are no less. Chartered accountants around the globe, they've been on their own doing startups, and there is no such ecosystem connecting them, enhancing their connect with Silicon Valley. So we said, let's launch this, and I make a couple of phone calls. I talked to my co-founders, one CA Hitesh Sachdev, he's head of startup engagement at ICICI Bank. Another phone call to CA Vineet Malhotra, who's formerly with BlackRock, advisor to Skydeck, Berkeley University's startup accelerator. So both of them said, thumbs up, let's do it. So we went ahead, launched it. We took help from IITstartups.org. They were very generous with their support in providing us all the chartered bylaws and everything. We just replicated what they've done. We are very younger, kind of compared to them, we're very young. It's all about quality over quantity. We're not in any rush. We want to make sure we have the right players supporting this ecosystem. So we're onboarding mentors and folks who are able to help these startups. So Piyush Goyalji, our Commerce Minister, Honorable Commerce Minister of India. So he was the one who launched it. He was very gracious in coming on board and launching this platform for us. And I think we've, the first cohort, we've got some few good startups that have signed up. Many applied, but we handpicked just 4 of those. They've been onboarded. Some teething issues because we are new, but we are in good hands. We've onboarded a few more people at this time. So we're scaling. The second cohort applications are open. Any startups anywhere around the globe, CA funded startups, if they're interested, we are there to help those folks. We're not assuring anything, but one thing we can tell is we'll connect them with good people. We've got 4 different VCs that have earmarked 1 million each for investing in startups that would graduate or CA startups. So that we've done. We will be onboarding more such organizations to support this ecosystem. More importantly, we are collaborating very soon with IIT startups. There is one similar initiative with ICAI, startupsphere.org, if I'm right.
Oh, right. Okay.
I was there at the conference a couple of weeks ago in Bengaluru. My dear friend Dheeraj Kandelwal, he's the one who's championing that as part of ICI, and the leadership team is supporting him. So they've done a great job organizing these events around the country in India.
Yeah.
But something in Silicon Valley, we're the first one to do, and dedicated for any CA funded startup anywhere in the globe. So we are there. I am trying to have some of the leaders here also participate. It's a global platform.
Exactly.
So it's not limited to Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
We need presence in different parts of the world to harness this energy. The startup, it's a buzzword. Everybody talks about it, but we all need to come together to deliver some good success stories. Then we can scale. We can kind of get more successful startups out of the system, proving that yes, we are great together. End of the day, we can do much more greater stuff when we all come together, unite under one ICI banner, CA banner. So
you've seen right from probably 20 plus years of experience as a chartered accountant. So you've seen ICI go through its own journey, right? You must be feeling proud of where ICI stands as of date in terms of trying to expand, hitting its 75th year. Recently, it's 76th also. So how proud are you as a chartered accountant?
Every step of the way, I felt that the sound foundation, the solid foundation that the CA qualification has given me, I'm always grateful for that, for the institution that offered it to me. It's a great institution. Lakhs of students write the exams every year. They evaluate, they publish the results. Even a couple of days ago, yesterday I think, they published the results. I'm having run a couple of these not-for-profits and seeing the challenges of doing it the right way, how it is looked at, and kind of there's so much risk involved, right? Your name is associated with these organizations.
Yeah.
So I'm always in awe of how this entire organization operates. 30 plus central council members, leadership. Every year they have a change. A democratically elected leader takes over as a president, as a vice president, who incumbent becomes the president.
Correct.
They have a wonderful democratic tradition of doing this year after year. 1 year is a very short term for a president to come on board, deliver. They may have a lot of aspirations, but they have only 1 year calendar filled with all these events. They'll have to do justice to different parts of the world, different domains. So amazing the way the system. But is there scope for improvement? Absolutely. Anything can be done. Over time, I'm sure things will change. One area where I feel there's something greater that can be done is the diversity.
Yeah.
We are all seeking that. I hope the right people come together to deliver on it in terms of gender diversity, in terms of representation of the various segments. The CAs, some are in profession. Mm-hmm. Some are in industry, some are overseas, people like me. Correct. Some are in entrepreneurship like me. Some are in public service, people like our Mahavir Singh Biji or a couple of other CAs who are holding very high office in Government of India and other governments.
So that's very interesting, that the fact that, you pointed out that CA is just not like a person who's signing at the end of the year or probably your balance sheet, but there's so much more to the fraternity than just your practicing chartered accountant.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's been wonderful talking to you and having this conversation with you, and it has been lovely. We'll just probably go on to our next segment over here. The CA that we have interviewed in the previous episode has left a question for you, not knowing who is going to be next. So on the previous episode, we had CA Sangeeta Sumesh, and I'll just read out the question that she left. And I would love for you also to leave a question to the next CA. Again, we don't know who's coming in. So I'll read out the question over here. It says, how do you handle emotions as a professional chartered accountant?
We are no different from any other professional to handle such situations. Forget the qualification, forget the profession. Emotion is something that every human has to learn to, as you grow, as you mature, as you gain more experience. The metal you build those qualities to not be stressed out, not take it in too much, than it requires. What you encounter in a professional environment, over time, as you learn, these are experience. Each one's experience is different. The question paper you're given is different from the one that I would have got.
Yeah, definitely.
Early on, somebody learns sooner. Somebody learns it late in the game, which could be very expensive. So, I think I would like to mention this. This is Tamil saying, "Teedum nandrum piratharavara."
Okay.
Good or bad, it's all about how you process yourself. It is all within. You have the power of handling situations. It's all within.
So, can you please drop in a question too for the next guest?
Absolutely. And I wouldn't know who that guest is going to be.
Yeah, and we will reveal it in the next episode.
Great. I hope the person who reads this gives a good answer. And you should share it with me, whatever the answer is.
Definitely. I'll probably send you the link to the video too.
Great. And that is meant for another CA. I hope it's a CA.
Yeah, it's a CA. So on this series, we only interview CAs.
Great.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So thank you for that question. And moving on very swiftly to our next segment, which is going to be a fun segment.
Great.
Okay. On this segment, I'm going to understand the fun and the human persona behind a chartered accountant, and I call it Beyond the Balance Sheets.
Okay.
So for this segment, I prepared a few questions. Going to be using my phone for it, so pardon me for that.
Okay.
So if you had one superpower to help you get your work done immediately in terms of your AI startup and in terms of expanding the ICAI chapters and offices across the US, along with your other csstartups.org, what would that superpower be?
I'm blessed with the kind of people I'm surrounded with. I feel time zone is the only challenge that
which you face.
We are humans. We need to sleep, get good 6 to 8 hours sleep. That's one thing, but I think I'm already able to handle some bit of it because I have partners on the other side of the aisle who understand these challenges and they're working with us. So I know it's a hypothetical question that you're asking.
Correct.
Time zone challenge, if there is a way to solve it in a better way, that'd be the best. It'll enhance our ability to go after these opportunities.
That's nice. So you've worked in so many countries, right? You've worked across different cultures. Do you have a favorite place where you visited for work?
I love Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka, okay.
Yes.
Any particular reason?
The proximity to where I come from.
Your hometown, okay.
I'm from Chettinad, down south. There's a lot of history of my ancestors having done their entrepreneurial journeys in that part of the world. So I visited that place about 10 times so far.
Oh, okay.
Fascinates me. The people, the land, the cultural similarity that I see every time. I visit different parts of the country, so it's a small nation, island nation, very close to where I come from. So although I've been to other parts of the world, Sri Lanka is a country that I love. Any number of times I would not be bored of visiting.
So if you could just let me know about, what is the craziest AI prediction that you've heard?
Craziest AI prediction. There are so many crazy things that hit us every week, the way they are saying. I worry about information being disseminated very convincingly through this ability, people like you and me having a conversation, but the ability which this technology can really create completely fake conversations, making it convincing for people.
Like deep fake videos.
Deep fake video, extremely dangerous, extremely worrying. I do not think it's ethical but you can't stop them. So I worry about that. That is the one that gives me nightmares, because we've seen it already. It's all playing out already right before our eyes.
Correct.
But I'm sure technology, they'll have a way to find, kind of separate the rice from the chaff. They'll be able to find out. I know a couple of startups that are pursuing this in kind of segregating what's right versus what's fake. So I'm pretty sure all these can be solved with technology again. So that's the one thing that.
So technology solves the problems created by technology.
Absolutely, it has to. It's a loop, right? It has to,
Yeah.
and they'll find some other level of breaking it, and it's a loop. It always keeps it going. So we'll have to learn to live with it.
That's nice. So do you have a favorite book or movie that inspires you to work in technology and entrepreneurship?
Magic of Thinking Big is a book.
Okay.
Early on, I've read and read it a couple of times. That inspires me. It instills a lot of confidence in anybody starting. So I would recommend that book for anyone. I read it, read it multiple times. I will read it again too. So it every time it gives you another level of boosts your confidence. That's one thing I would always recommend for anybody who's starting out of there.
That's nice. And what's your go-to activity to unwind?
I play tennis a couple of times a week. I enjoy it.
Okay.
I miss it. I'm traveling now. Play Saturdays and Wednesdays. I have a group of about 14 of my friends, 8 or 12 of us. We play doubles. So that's a great zone to be in. I like traveling.
Okay.
With my family. That's the time I look forward to, not just within the country, but whenever there's an opportunity, we travel abroad. That's great to spend quality time with the family. So those are two things, travel and tennis. Those are two things that I really look forward to. Whenever I get a chance, I do. And wherever I go, I meet with our own CAs. They're happy to meet with me. So even recently I was in Mysore. A great gentleman spent quality time with me. He took us around and all that stuff. So when he comes to Silicon Valley, I will do the same favor to him. So wherever I go, I reach out to my CA friends, let them know that I'm there, and most of them join me for coffee. And I do the same thing whenever they come to Silicon Valley. So I would encourage all CAs out there to network more going forward. We have our platforms. Just go put it out there saying that you're traveling to some place, and if there are other folks who are like-minded, who are available to meet, have a cup of coffee the way I'm having with you.
That's nice.
It'd be great, yeah.
And that brings us to the end of the segment. And thank you so much for this conversation. It's been lovely getting to know you, your plans that you have for the future as well, and also how you want people to understand that network is their net worth. So yeah, thank you so much for this conversation.
Thanks, Geena. This is fabulous chatting with you. Very nicely done. Thank you again. Thanks to Zoho. And my sincere thanks to you for doing this as a series. You're meeting with, I think you've met with more CAs, interviewed more CAs than anyone that I know of. Yeah. And maybe you're the one who's done the most number of interviews with CAs. I wish you well, and keep up the great work. Thanks to Zoho for organizing this Coffee with a CA as a series. We enjoy working with the Zoho friends back in North America. So there are event sponsors, ICAI San Francisco. I'm trying to replicate that with the other chapters in North America. There's so much more that can be done together. ICAI and Zoho, our headquarters in Delhi, they've partnered with Zoho. I think they've got a sponsorship, or I don't know what the relationship is, but I know they're working with Zoho. Software has been made available to our members, fraternity. So we hope to, there's a precedence there that is working out great. So we hope to replicate that in USA. We are happy to take this forward, and I hope to see you folks sign up with the other chapters in North America very soon.
Definitely. And thank you so much for your time and patience, sir, answering all my questions patiently. And as a token of appreciation, we have the small
thank you
gift for you. Thank you so much. And it was wonderful talking to you.